Let's go check out Niceville's top 3 parks. Hi everybody, it's Andy G with the Emerald Group right here in beautiful Crestview, Florida. If you're interested in moving to Crestview or to the Emerald Coast in general, got any questions about it, want to learn more, please go ahead and subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a video. Today we're going to go take a look at my picks for the top 3 parks in Niceville. Let's get started. Number 1 is going to be my absolute favorite, not saving the best for last today. Top pick is Turkey Creek Nature Walk. So Turkey Creek is an actual creek, and the nature walk is just a boardwalk that runs a full mile. There are benches along the way, and there are docks that you can push off a canoe or a float. You can jump off into the water if you like. No diving though, it's shallow water. What's great about it is they have these neat little signs everywhere that give you some information about the local flora and fauna. And again, it's a full mile, so you park at one end, you can walk all the way to the end, turn around, walk on back, and it's a really nice place. I go there a lot just to enjoy some time in nature. It's something that's kind of unique because in Florida, you know, you think about beaches, especially out here on the Emerald Coast, we talk a lot about the beaches and the water, but this is not really a swamp, but it kinda is, and it definitely has that that feel that you just can't really find anywhere else. So it's very unique, very fun, very family friendly. So without further ado, let's take a look at my little walk today. All right, we are headed to Turkey Creek. We have come down Highway 85. We are in Niceville. We are actually passing by the fairgrounds here on the left. That's where you'll find things like the International Powwow. You'll find the Mullet Festival there. A lot of events happen over there. The Mullet Festival, by the way, has nothing to do with hair. Mullet is also a fish, which I did not know before I moved to Florida. We are headed to Turkey Creek Park. This is Highway 85. We're pointed south, and we're about to turn onto John Sims, which is Highway 20. Highway 20 basically runs between Eglin Air Force Base all the way out to like Blue Water Bay, etc. So 2 major roads here converge, and we're going to be turning right, and we'll be in basically right, and then almost an immediate right again, we'll be at Turkey Creek. It is morning, and this is basically all traffic going to Eglin, honestly. Eglin Air Force Base is to our right, and so are all of these people. And here we go. We are coming up to Turkey Creek. The Turkey Creek Nature Trail. All right, welcome to Turkey Creek. So this is the Turkey Creek Scenic Trail or Nature Trail. I come here a lot with my one of my cousins, and we'll do this walk every now and again. One of my favorite things about it is they have these lovely signs up everywhere that you can read and find out what the various plants are called, a little bit of fun facts about them. It's not just a nature walk. You have this nice area here where they have the little barbecue grill set up and everything. And then we'll come take a look at the plaque for Mr. Olin Willie Williams, major contributor to the park. There's a parking lot. Very important feature right there. Bathrooms. So, go for a little walk. It is definitely inclusive. It's very easy to get a stroller or a wheelchair walker up here, so regardless of your fitness level or families or ability, disability, you can have a pretty easy time getting up here. And then they don't have a fire lit today because it's like 75 degrees even though it's December 29th. But they do have this beautiful giant stone fireplace and benches. So you can picnic here, you can have events here. I've seen more than one birthday, graduation, retirement. There's even a wedding once. And then there's the guardhouse. And you're not supposed to bring food. Do not bring food, do not feed the animals. The really nice thing about this trail is that it's mostly shaded. So even when it's hot out, you're not in the sun most of the time. There's another one of those cool signs. And I'll be really honest, I don't know a whole lot about like anything to do with plants. I do not have a green thumb. So for me, getting to learn about the various plants and things out here is pretty cool. So this giant live oak. And there's not just signs for the flora, but also some of the fauna. There's another one. It is December, so you know, a lot of the trees have lost their foliage, but it's also 70 degrees in December, so one of the many reasons it's nice to live here. It's pretty quiet right now, but on the weekends, it's usually pretty packed. So this part of the bridge is my favorite because you will very often see a whole bunch of turtles down there. Not right now, unfortunately, but they do exist. I don't think you're going to be able to read this whole sign while I'm here, but it exists, and you know, pause to read. And yes, right now you can definitely hear the road sounds off to my left, and that roaring is, well, did I mention Eglins very close by? Also, the Valparaiso Airport's right around here, so you're gonna hear planes. Okay, I don't know if you can see him, but there is a turtle down there. You see those green leaves right there? There's a turtle right there. He's right there. I hope you can see him. He's pretty. But this is where the turtles hang out. Do not feed the turtles when you come here. It's not allowed. It's not good for them. If you don't live in this area, you tend to think of Florida as being beaches. That's what most people think. But you've heard of, it's pronounced tie-tie, get your head out of the gutter. Sorry, if you don't know anything about Florida, if you don't live here, then you tend to think Florida probably is like beaches and palm trees, but there is such a thing as Florida swampland. There's a lot of it, and this is not really swamp, but if you don't have anything else to picture, this is a good place to start. And this is one of the other cool things you'll see a lot of. This is a perfectly harmless spider. It cannot hurt you, especially if you don't go over there, but boy does it looks very aggressive, doesn't it? Look at him. I think he's called a banana spider, but or an orb weaver. They're just harmless. They look really intimidating, but they can't hurt you. And one of the things, if you read or listen to people talk about swamps, something you'll hear a lot is they'll talk about cypress knees. Well, you see all those funny little stumps down there? Those are cypress knees. You see why they get that name? They look like gnarly knees jutting up out of the ground. Now, in addition to just being able to do this as a nature walk, you can also actually get in the water. You can sit here at the edge of the dock if you wanted to. You can climb down the ladder there. You can go paddle around in the water. Now, there are no lifeguards. It is definitely swim at your own risk. And one of the things I see people do a lot is float down the river. So there are 8 docks. This is just dock number 1. If you go all the way up to dock 8 with your floaty, you can float all the way back down the river. It's kind of fun. Ooh, look, we got some ducks. Goodbye, ducks. Those may not be ducks. Like I said, I'm not much of a nature expert. So it says no pets. I have seen many people walking their dogs. I've never seen anybody get mad. Don't be a snitch. And there are benches about every quarter mile or so. So if you're not exactly in the best shape, you need to rest. You just want to sit and relax. You're not looking to make this a timed event. You can sit, enjoy. And yes, depending on the light, it can in fact look like the opener to a horror story. Maybe that's why it's not open after dark. Probably not. cypress. Possibly dead cypress. Just to give you an idea. That's what it looks like. Here we go. We'll have a little fun here. So this is Turkey Creek, and I love it out here. It is a great example of being able to find some really nice kind of nature walk, you know, kind of touch grass, get out in the fresh air. It's not too sunny most of the time because of all of the tree cover, and it's just a really nice place to come. You can bring your family, you can come by yourself. It's very safe. There are park rangers when it's open. There's a police presence here. So if you're worried about, you know, like going hiking in the wilderness, this is kind of a great compromise because it's not the wilderness, but it kind of feels like it because of how the trees themselves, the grass and everything are just left to grow. And depending on what time of year it is, you can see different kinds of birds here, from ducks and herons to just, you know, your regular little sparrows and such. But you can also see a lot of turtles. There is this enormous snapping turtle that lives about 2/3 of the way down the trail that I just called George. I don't know why. But yeah, you should definitely come out, take a look. So that was Turkey Creek. Now up next, we're gonna go take a look at Lincoln Park, not to be confused with the band. Lincoln Park is actually in Valparaiso, but it is on one side of the bay, and then Lions Park is on the other side. So because they're so close together, they didn't try to sort of replicate the same park on either side of the bay. So each one is a little bit different. Now, if we take a look at Lincoln Park, it is sort of the most, I guess, kid-friendly would be the term, because they have a lot of playground equipment out there. There are pavilions. I've been out there just to go and found that there are civic organizations or religious groups that are doing some kind of event, and it's a nice place to hang out. So it's got benches along the edge of the water, so you can just sit and enjoy looking out across the bay, and it's always beautiful out there. The footage I have, it was stormy all week, so it's a gray, cloudy day, but it's still just gorgeous. You got to check this out. So let's take a look. We are now on our way to Lincoln Park, which is in Valparaiso. It is actually the sister to Lions Park, which we're going to go to next, just to check out real quick. So these are both on the water. We're going to go out and take a look. This one's really the most kind of family oriented, I guess, because it's got a playground. It's really nice. So we are going to go take a look. This is Highway 20 still, so we're in Valpo. We're still on Highway 20, and there's the park up ahead. Through the trees, you might be able to see the water. It is December. It is kind of a gray day. When it's December in Florida, we don't really get snow, but we sure as heck get up more than our fair share of rain. So it's definitely a gray day, but it's still very nice. It's keeps it from being too hot, that's for sure. So we are coming up on Lincoln Park in Valparaiso, which is the sister to Lions Park on the other side of the bay. And it's kind of the most, I guess, kid-friendly of the parks, because it actually has like a playground. It's a place where I've seen like community centers, religious groups do events. Very important, that bright blue building is where the bathroom is. All right, here we are at Lincoln Park. So this is definitely a fun place to come and spend a day. Bring your ice chest. You can have a picnic. Bring your kids, nieces, nephews. You know, There's a bunch of these different pavilions, so no matter who you are, what you're doing, you can have a nice time. We'll come over here, get a look at the water. And again, it's a very accessible park, so if you need to get anything with wheels around here, it's pretty easy. There are handicap parking spaces over here near the restroom, and then this path leads pretty close up to the rest of it. And then this is one of the things I really like about the swing sets, is there's a ramp that leads you into the swing set area, and there's a zero entry section with play equipment over there. So, and again, no lifeguards on duty, so be smart. Look at that big boy. See if we can get a decent look at him. Pretty sure that's a pelican. Pretty sure those are all pelicans there. So there's one there, a couple of seagulls, and then there's a couple more over there. And this is cool because you can go on this dock here, sit and dangle your feet in. You can also launch a paddleboard or a kayak or a canoe, anything like that. Or you can just have a wade. All these pylons here mark where it's safe to be. So stay on this side of the pylons, and none of the boats are allowed in. They also wouldn't really fit. And then all the way across the water there, I prefer Lincoln. It is, it's bigger. It's got more entrance to the water, and you can actually get to the water just by walking to it. Over there is a seawall that you have to kind of jump off of. I mean, it's waist high when you're in the water, or shoulder high if you're short. But it's nice. And that was Lincoln Park. So again, if you're looking for a place in this area where there's playground equipment and water where you can just walk out into the water, it's actually kind of one of the only places, I think it might be the only place in Niceville VLP where you can go from like dirt to sand to water. You can just walk in. So definitely check out Lincoln Park. Last on our list was Lions Park. Now, Lions Park is basically just a glorified boat launch. It's got lots of parking for your boat trailers, and it has a nice big boat launch. If you have a powerboat or a sailboat, it's a great place to go to launch into the bay. There are also a lot of pavilions and benches out there, so again, you can go out and just enjoy watching, and it's really close to a couple of restaurants, bakeries, that kind of thing. So if you enjoy watching people boat, watching people on their ski-doos, it's a great place to go. So let's take a look. We are now headed over to Lions Park from Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park is in Valparaiso. Lions Park is in Niceville, and you can see they're really not very far apart at all. So we talk about Eglin Air Force Base as being in Niceville. It's actually connected to Valparaiso. There's some interesting differences between Lion and Lincoln. Because they're so close together, it didn't make sense to reproduce basically the same park on either side of the bay. So instead, Lincoln Park is much more playground. It's got a lot of playground equipment. It's got swings. It has sandy beach. It's one of the only places in Niceville area that you can go walk from dirt to sand to water. here at Lions Park, where we're headed, it has a retaining wall and it's a big boat launch. So you'll see when we get over there, there's a lot of boat trailer parking, and there's a direct into the water launch. And then the park part where the pavilions are is has a retaining, like a seawall, to protect you from erosion. And it's less of a jump in and paddle around. It's more of an either get on your board or sit and enjoy watching, or have a picnic before or after you've been out on your boat. There are also some very nice houses through here, and a lot of speed bumps. So I think this is some really beautiful trees up here with the Spanish moss on them, and it's a very relaxing place to drive, honestly. This is one of my favorite routes to take in Niceville, so if I have to come down here for any reason, and there's any excuse to go down Bayshore, despite all the speed bumps and the stop signs, I'm going, because it's pretty. Oh, and there are some, like, short-term rentals that are available out here. So if you're looking to stay, like, on the water, but you don't want to stay on the ocean, well, the bay, the Gulf, rather, you do have some options up here as well. Little house on the marina right there is a Verbo. This is a nice little restaurant here. The name is escaping me at the moment, but I've been there once. It's really good. If you ever come visit, we'll go grab lunch. And this is also one of those funny things about Florida. You know, this is a gasoline, I think it's got to be oil processing plant on the left. It says Citgo on it. And you have the pipes that run out there that I guess the boats deliver to. And then, boom, beautiful park. So big upside to Lions Park is that it is very convenient. There's the road. There's my car parked right on the road. The downside is that it's on the road, so you get a little bit more road noise. Lions Park doesn't have a whole lot of rules, you know. No alcohol, no bikes. Don't climb on the roof. But there's honestly just not a whole lot to Lions Park that isn't boat launch. It's great if you have a boat. And it's great if you want to come out here and sit and enjoy some quiet time. That is kind of all it has to offer. But if you're just looking for a place to enjoy some, you know, again, touch some grass, it's a good place to go. So you get some private docks over there, and then if we look across the way, see that bit of blue way off in the distance? That's Lincoln Park. A whole lot of seagulls. Sometimes you can see little minnows down there, but it's mostly just a little place you can launch your boat. You can fish over here. I've seen a guy out here with one of those weighted nets, and just in good weather you'll see people out here paddle boarding. They'll be on ski-doos, the whole bit, so it's a lot of fun. But it is definitely the smallest park that I've been to in Niceville. There's the big pavilion over there. There's someone using it, but of course the most important question that I have when it comes to any place, do they have a bathroom? Yes, they do. It's right over there. And that one, as far as I know, is always open. I've never been here when it was locked unless it was occupied. So that was Lions Park. It's probably the best place to go if you're looking to launch a boat and you don't want to go all the way down to Fort Walton Beach. So whether you live in Niceville, Valpy, or if you live up here in Crestview, Baker, that area, going down to that bay gets you the opportunity to go on out into the wider Gulf if you like even. But if all you want to do is just tool around the bay, you got it. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my top 3 Niceville parks. And if you have any questions about moving here to the Emerald Coast, whether that's Crestview, Niceville, Point South, anywhere from Pensacola to Panama City, I really hope you hit me up, whether that's give me a call, find me on Facebook, message me here on YouTube, send me whatever works for you. Just please feel free to reach out and let me help you make my hometown your hometown. Have a great day and Happy New Year. If you got a boat, launch your boat. That was my cat jumping on the table. Say hi, Tuvok. Tuvok wakes up every day and chooses violence, and today he chose to try to eat my ring light. See? Violence. Everyday violence. I love you. Should I just finish the video like this? See? He's a chewy baby. He doesn't mean any harm though.